This is my third and final card in my 2017 July 4th series. This card design was very simple and very cute. I had a pattern paper which reminded me of the starburst of fireworks, and I thought that would be a good base to use for the card. I had used punches to make these starburst patterns, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. The techniques I'm going to be showing in this video is going to be punching and how to take different papers and layer them together in order to make a panel, and how to use strips of paper to hide the seams and things that sort of gets. Also, I want to touch on one thing before I get started. I'm trying to change the layout of how I do the videos so that you have a better angle, a better viewing angle, and I'm trying to bring the work a little closer to the camera so at the start so they can see what the item looks like. A lot of people have told me that they're having difficulty seeing it. Unfortunately, when I start working on it, I'm going to have to take it down. I have a little cheaty box here that I'm using, and my stamping mat to prop it up, and I hope you can see it. Unfortunately, there's the shadow from the webcam tripod that's in the way, but if I put it over here, you can't see it. But let's just all agree to look through that shadow and not see it, okay? All right. Now, one thing I want to mention in my last card video, this is the card that I made, and it used some punch outs for these stars here, and in order to get that I had to use a star punch, border punch, but in order to the side effect of the punching ended up with the little star confetti, which is what I needed. But that meant that I had a lot of waste of the borders itself because I had no use for it until I came up with this design. So this is the border punch that I used in order to get the confetti. Because if you've been watching my videos this long, you know I hate waste. So I use these little strips of paper that I punched. Well, my husband punched. I can't manage the punch. This particular punch is very difficult to master. So that's one thing I'm not going to show you on camera, is how I did that punch, because I didn't actually do it. My husband did it for me. But you can get the idea how it all goes together as we go through it. So I'm going to move this box out of the way. Okay, and we're going to go through the materials that I need for this card. So because this is paper piece, there's going to be a lot of little bits and pieces of stuff. This was the bordered punch that I mentioned, which I have. This is just this is 8.5 by 11, but of course I'm not going to use that much, and it's a Fiskars border punch that punches these stars. And let me see if I can reach it. It's outside of my reach. One moment. Okay, here we go. This particular punch is this comes with a little holder, and it has these little punching cartridges, and each one fits into the holder. You open the little pieces. It's a little tricky with these nails. Oh, I didn't show my Q-Spa nails, Independence Day nails, all this time. Here we go. Q-Spa nails, 132nd Street. So this has a little hole here, and it fits into the back of the punch thing. Set that aside for a moment. I don't want to accidentally push it. And you push it and press down, and it locks in place. And when you close this, you punch. But as I said, once the paper's in, this is really difficult for me with arthritis in my hand, so I had my husband pre-punch it for me. But you can get this particular, I don't remember the word they use for it, but this particular device comes with a lot of different cartridges for the punch, and there's many different border punches. So you only buy this once, and it comes with one of these. I believe it was the one that did the lacy circles, and you can buy these cheaper than buying this whole set, and it takes up a lot less room because you only have this one thing, and this takes up a lot less room than to have multiple of these. And let me tell you, these punches, they're heavy and cumbersome, but what are you gonna do, right? Okay, set that aside. So that's a Fiskars punch. Now going through it. So I have this strip of paper which has been punched out. I needed silver glitter paper, and I just have a little bit of scrap here because for these circles here. I needed a 1/4 inch strip of blue. I have a 1 inch strip of red glitter paper. This is 5 inches by 1. I needed a scrap of blue. This just to fit in the punch. I believe this is 3 by 5. I needed a strip of red. And this is the pattern paper that I mentioned, and this is cut 5 by 3. And I need a white panel, which is cut 5 by 3 3/4. I need a black panel, which is cut 5 1/4 by 4. And my card base, which is cut 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. I usually start out showing the card base, but this time I went through all the other stuff first. Swap, mix it up a little bit. Okay, I have a need for the Distress ink, faded jeans, and fired brick. I'm just going to do a very easy watercoloring on the inside of the card. I also need Versafine Onyx black. The stamps I'm using on the inside of the card, the Stampin' Up! God Bless America. It's a stamp set that just has just this one stamp in it. Sorry, people came and moved stuff around and now it's all out of my reach. I have Sentiments stamp set by Fiskars. It has a lot of different sentiments in it, and it has different styles, and there's a little heart. And I'm also using the Artstamp large numbers, also by Fiskars. The punches I'm using, these are flower punches, but I thought with a little bit of creative layering that it makes a really good starburst. This is how you can look at what you have and think about creative ways to use it differently. You don't have to go out and buy a new item for every single project that you want to do. Think about what is it that you have and how can you utilize it, and see things in a different way. Also have a Stampin' Up! 1/2 inch circle punch. Any 1/2 inch circle punch would do. I'm also going to need some paint brushes because I'm going to do very slight paint watercoloring. If you don't want to do watercoloring, you can also do the little bit of coloring that I'm going to show you with a red marker and a blue marker. But make sure it's light, because if it's too dark, then it's going to look kind of messy. Alright, I think that's everything I need. I think I've explained everything. Alright, let me clear this stuff away and jump right into creating a card. And I'm going to adjust the lights a little bit. Okay, I've taken some of this stuff away, and including the box. And so now I see that the shadow is really pronounced on the white cardstock. You can really see the tripod. I'm very sorry about that. Okay, I obviously know it needs a little bit more work. But moving right along, I'm going to start off doing the inside of the card because I want it to have a chance to dry. So I'm going to take my Versafine and stamp the inside sentiment, which is the flag. Making sure I get a good impression. Alright. I have my rag soaked with my cleaning solution. I'll clean my stamp. I think I mentioned it in almost every video, but the link for how to make that is on my channel. Okay, now I have a clear block, and I'm going to use that as a palette and press the red. I think that's enough. Yeah. I'm going to give it a little spritz with water to get the color flowing. See, that's very loose, and then just bring the color across. This is not watercolor paper, so of course you have to be really careful not to use a heavy hand on that. So let's clear this up. Didn't hurt it any. I'll rinse that brush later because I forgot to bring some water over. I'll do the same thing for the blue. Give it a little spritz. And I want the blue to be a little bit lighter because this is already very solid with the black on there. But that's good enough. Okay. Alright, you have to be really sure that you remember to clean your water brushes because you don't want to ruin your brush by having dry paint on it. So this is a little wet, so I'm going to set that aside and let it dry. And now we're moving on to the next step, which is to assemble the front panel. So I have this glitter paper and the paper. So this is self-adhesive, so we'll pull the tape back, and you know how it is when I have to use my nails. Here we go. Alright, got it. I'm putting this on the right side of the paper, being careful to line it up pretty close. And get it straight as you can. There. Now this piece I'm going to line up with the opposite side. Just get my tape gun. And I think that I forgot to trim this paper. So I'll have to trim that. When I first assembled this card, I thought I wanted this to be 5 1/4, but I decided in the end that I did want to mat it, so I have to trim this off by 1/4 inch. Right. So let me grab my guillotine. I just got this Tim Holtz. I love it already. Just take it to 5 inches and give a trim. There we go. Now, I want you to take and put a little tape right along here and lay this border here. And I'm going a little bit over the paper because I want a good end. Make sure that I got the stars. That's a little straighter. There. Just trim it. Try to be straight with the cut so it won't look all weird. Good. Now I need my glue. Where'd you go? A thin line of glue along here. I can't use a tape because that piece of paper is narrower than the tape gun will go, and it will just be a sticky mess all over the place. Right. And this needs a trim also. Alright. Now I'm going to just let the music run and assemble the card. That was the hard part. right, that is the finished card. It went together very quick, as I promised, and very easy. And I think it turns out really, really nice. I think it's a really pretty card. And I'm glad that I had these stars to use because I really like it. Thanks for watching. I'd like to thank my brother David for the patriotic music that he provided for these videos, and also for all the other music that he provides. Please check out his channel. There will be a link down below that you can check him out. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you like my videos. I'm trying to get the word out. Thanks for watching, and have a happy Independence Day. Take care.